Hi guys, I wanted to do another video today about why I want to be a nurse, and this was a tag by on Robin's um, YouTube page. She was tagged by someone else, so I thought I would do a video as well. It's quite a hard question to answer for me because it wasn't like a thing that I always wanted to be a nurse since I was really little. It wasn't like that for me. But I was always interested in healthcare, and I think like right back when I chose GCSEs at 14, my mum was like, "You need to do health and social care," because she knew I was actually going to choose geography and media. I have no idea why, because I knew then that I wanted to work with children and wanted to go in that kind of healthcare sort of into that sector. Um, so at first, so I did the GCSEs, which was 2 years, and then I did the BTEC first and the BTEC National. Health and social care is the best because it's not like childcare where you just can work with children. You get trained to work with children and elderly people and adults and children and adults with special needs and loads of things. So I got loads of experiences, which was really great. And the first thing that I really realised that I wanted to do was work with children with special needs, and this was because I worked in a nursery, just like an ordinary nursery that's attached to a school, and there was a 4-year-old there who was autistic, and he hadn't been sort of diagnosed with it or registered with it, but you could tell by the way he was behaving, and I just loved working with this child. I was in that work experience for 2 weeks. Actually, I think this was the year 9 one, so I was 14. I was so young, but I loved it. Absolutely loved every minute of it. So when I did my health and social care course, I went to a special needs school um, and worked with loads of other children with special needs, and they had really multiple difficulties, and a lot of the children were just sort of autistic. A few of them had Down syndrome and things like that, but a lot of them had things like cerebral palsy and muscular dystrophy and things like that, really severe disabilities. And I often worked with the children that were just in their wheelchairs like all the time, just couldn't move and had no communication at all. And I loved working with them. And from there, I actually wanted to be a physiotherapist um, for these children that are in wheelchairs that can't walk, just to get, because they have a lot of physio to get their muscles moving and the blood circulating around their body properly. And I was like, that's what I want to do. But then as time went on, I realised that that would be quite a repetitive profession to be in, that it would sort of be the same all the time, and I can't really deal with things being the same. I love learning new things and things like that. And so I went back to this special needs school later in my course, or in the next level of the course, in the level 2 course that I did. And I was there for a longer period of time then, so I got to work with a nurse, and she allowed me to do some, like under her supervision and careful guidance, she allowed me to do some of the children's gastrostomy feeds, like their peg feeds from their stomach, like through a tube into a syringe. And I was in my element. I just loved it, and because I was so young as well, it was such a big thing for me to be doing, and I was just like, and I love all that medical, that hands-on, that I love giving. Sort of, I'm really excited to give injections and blood tests and IVs and things like this because it just excites me. I just love that kind of thing. And then for my level 3 course, my teacher was a paediatric nurse. Well, she still is a paediatric nurse. She does both. She teaches and nurses. And I kind of realised that it was a profession that would always be changing, and I get new people all the time. And I love working with these children with special needs and children with severe illnesses and disabilities, and I knew that I'd be able to do that in nursing. So I had more experience. I went into hospitals and did voluntary work into hospitals. I've done voluntary work with children's hospices. And I just love it, and I know that it's what I want to do. And just being around nurses, I think that really made my decision for me, and being around these children as well. And one of the things I find really hard, sort of in my head, to get around, but I've heard other people in their videos say this as well, is I love working with children that are sick. And it sounds really weird and really horrible, but I think they're a lot more appreciative of life, and there's a lot more like excuse me. Even my teacher at school said to me when she worked in the hospital, she said you'd have one child that had just had their tonsils out because they had tonsillitis, and another child that was on chemotherapy because they have cancer and are really, really sick, and you're guaranteed that the child that's just come in with their tonsils out will moan and moan and moan, and you won't hear anything about the child that's on chemotherapy. And I think that's what I love about it as well, that they're just so happy, and I think you learn a lot about yourself and you appreciate your health and your life working with these children and these families that are just so strong in supporting their children and all that they've gone through, and it's amazing, and I just love it, and that's why I want to be a nurse, and here I am and really excited. So feel free, other people, I tag everyone that watches these videos to do a video on why you want to be a nurse, and I'd be really interested in watching them. So thanks for watching.